Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. If you are brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid. And today I have an unboxing. I have a package here all the way from Spain. Now, I have two decks in here and I'm only going to be unboxing one of them. So you will know which deck it is from the title of this video, but as of now, I don't know which one I'm going to pull out first. All right, so without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, I took two decks out and you can see I can't tell which deck is which. Now, this is very exciting. The decks came in this wonderful, wrapped up in this wonderful giraffe paper, which I will totally be using for some mixed media or journaling work. Now, the Etsy store that I purchased these decks from, they came kind of as a deal. If you bought two decks, you got a little bit of money knocked off in shipping. But the Etsy store is in Spain, and they are two decks by Fournier, and I'm so excited. So I don't know, which one am I going to unbox, one or two? All right, so I think I will open this one. Okay, so we're going to set this one off to the side and let's take this out of the pretty velvet bag. Oh, and it's in paper. On the internet, I learned that Aitor Saraiba is best known as a visual artist. In his delicate drawings, he speaks of his own themes: pain, sex, trauma, memory, death, and reconciliation. After many years in contact with tarot symbology, Mr. Saraiba finally created his own deck, the Tarot de Luz, or Tarot of Light. The Tarot of Light is a guide that helps us to analyze our present through archetypes and a lot of poetry. To create the Tarot of Light, Aitor Saraiba has revisited many previous and almost forgotten works to create a tarot that embraces change. So the deck is out of the plastic wrap, and look at how sweet this little box is. It's just super sweet with the gold foil. It is a dusty pink or dusty rose, and oh my gosh, I'm a sucker. I'm a girl for pink, but look at how pretty that is. And on the back is a photo of the Two of Cups. We have the title, Tarot de Luz. Now, all that's included is a little white book, and it's in several languages. So you kind of have to open it up to your language. So you've got Spanish, English, French, German, and Portuguese. You do get some keywords for the upright and the reverse position. And like for instance, for the High Priestess, you get represent secret knowledge or occult wisdom. And then for the upright position, keywords are wisdom, common sense, learning, serenity, objectivity, foresight, perception, emotionlessness, impatience, unmarried, too practical, teacher. And then for the reverse position, you get ignorance, lack of understanding, selfishness, improper judgment, shallowness. All that for the High Priestess. Okay, so you don't get anything about the artwork we're going to see. It's just a very rudimentary little white book in the truest sense. Now you can see the difference in the card size. Now this is really, it's so petite. It's like a petite deck without being a pocket deck. So I've got my yellow box RWS deck here. The cardstock is, this is standard nice US Games. This is really nice too. It is quite thin. It's thinner than the US Games cardstock, but it's nice, and it seems like it'll shuffle very easily, and it has a little bit of a snapback. It is a little bit coated, but not glossy or shiny. And there is the back of the cards, which I think is just stunning and beautiful. Very vintagey, this pink. It's dusty rose, beigey pink. It reminds me of, what is the name of that Bobbi Brown lipstick? Beige pink or pink beige. I wore it for years and years and years, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. You can see how little and petite this deck is, how it fits in my small hands. Yeah, it's adorable. It's super cute. I'm really loving this size. So what I think we're going to do now is a musical flip through. We're going to flip through all the art, and then I will meet you on the other side. enjoyed that musical flip through. As you can see, this is a very unique deck. I can't quite decipher now because I'm not familiar with the Thoth system. I don't know if it's a melding of perhaps all three systems, RWS, Marseille, and Thoth, or Thoth, however you pronounce it. It goes its own way in a lot of the imagery and symbolism. It is very much its own unique deck. And, you know, looking at this deck, I do love this Lover's card right here. Looking at these images, they don't correspond right off the bat with how I read, you know, certain cards. So I think it's kind of a melding of the systems. Especially it deviates in the minors quite a bit. Now you notice that the pages are called knaves in this deck. I love this death card. Oh my gosh, I love it. There's quite often you see astrological constellations here. There's a lot of symbology in this deck, and some of it, you know, very classical, and some of it very, you know, doing its own thing. And the unique and whimsical nature of this deck, you think, oh, this is going to be a cute little fluffy deck. You know, the vibes I'm getting off of this deck, it's not. I think this is going to be a very, very deep deck. I love this Judgment card right here. I love the artwork. I think it is gorgeous. And this is when, you know, I really, really wish that there was a more substantial guidebook, or we could get more insight to the creator's brain when he was creating these images, and why he put certain images to reflect, you know, to represent certain cards. Like, for instance, this 10 of Wands is quite interesting. So this is not a fluffy deck, and even though it is rather cute, quote unquote cute and whimsical, I don't think this is a deck for beginners. In fact, I am going to have to sit with this and see if I can read with it. There's going to be a test, a testing period. I really, really enjoy the artwork. I really do. And this watercolor, oh, it's beautiful. And I really hope that my phone is really picking this up. It's stunning and it appeals to me, but the real test is going to be trying to read with it for a while. And like I said, I really do wish it had a more substantial guidebook, because I want an insight into the brain of the creator. I think it would help with the reading of this deck. Now, when I say it's not for beginners, you know, if you're a beginner, you know, I'm not going to stop you from trying to read with any deck that appeals to you. I'm just saying you might have to work at it a little bit more. Or if you're going the way of purely intuitive reading, then, you know, have at it. There's a lot for you here. Now, this deck reminds me of two other decks that I have, which I will show you now. The closest decks that I have in feel, either art style or energy, would probably be the Minute Tarot by Tish Hollister and the Hughes Tarot, which are both, I believe, out of print. But do you see the Minute Tarot, art-wise, this was done with Sharpie marker, and for the most part, and it just kind of, you know, art style, it has the same kind of energy, though I would say this is more simplistic because she did the art very quickly. It was a challenge for her. But then in the energy, I would say it also matches a little bit my Hughes Tarot. I think it's a combination with the whimsical nature, but I really, really think this deck does its own thing and it goes its own way in many aspects. And that's why I don't think it's a clone to either one of these decks. I am fascinated by it. I'm telling you, you guys, I'm just looking at it and I am completely fascinated, enchanted. It's got me thinking, and it has the wheels turning in my head. It really, really does. Look at this Two of Cups. Now, before I go, I just want to do a little card pull and see what my relationship with this deck is going to be. I am getting good vibes from it. I am super excited about it. Hopefully that will carry over in being able to read with it. As you know, this is just an unboxing and a first impressions. But yeah, I'm curious to know what my relationship with this deck will be. Very curious. Okay, the Six of Cups. Very, very timely for me. I have been stuck in a state of nostalgia, very much so. Kind of looking back a lot to when my kids were younger, when I was a young mother and I was able to protect all my children, and they were all living under my roof and I could keep them safe and I could protect them. And yeah, a couple of them have been going through changes, young adult changes, and you just want to be able to protect them and help them. And sometimes, you know, you can't even give them advice. And I won't even offer it to them because I know they won't accept it. You know, they'll just roll their eyes. And it's a very hard thing for a mother to do. And I found myself looking at old photo albums and sometimes wishing for the clarity I had when I was a mother taking care of her children. That was my prime focus. I knew my purpose. And now I'm kind of in a state where it's really nice that I can take the time and explore who I am now. But it's also a little hard because I don't have that clear sense of purpose anymore, which I had when I was younger. I don't really have that now, and it's a constant search. So maybe when I have questions regarding those types of things and issues, this would be a good deck. I think it would also be a good deck for maybe some inner child work for me. Very interesting. So let's just pick one card for the collective, shall we? Don't laugh at my funky shuffling. I actually have my arms stretched way out in front of me, so so I can get it in camera shot. So yeah, all right, let's pick a card for the collective. What is the collective energy? Okay, the Hanged Man for the collective. Oh my gosh. The main thing that comes to mind to me is, you know, as a collective, we're living life in suspension, where it is, parts of it are kind of back to normal, but there is a big part of it that's not, with this big cloud hanging over us. Now, as a collective, we need to start acting as a collective instead of just me. Because it's been the me, what's good for me, me, that's what's keeping us here as a collective. And until we start getting the mindset of acting for the greater good acting for the greater good, we are going to continue living this life in limbo for the unforeseeable future. You know, I keep thinking back to what we as a collective were able to do, our ancestors were able to do back in World War II. You know, a big world tumult. The world was in a big tumult. And here at the home front, you know, we were asked to make great sacrifices. From, you know, women had to give up wearing nylons because they needed the materials for making parachutes. We had coupons and ration booklets, and we couldn't just get what we wanted at the grocery store. We had to ration, but we did it. Our ancestors did it because we knew it was for the greater good. Can we do that again? You know, evidence is showing that we can't, and that's why we're still here in the place that we are. So we need, if we want things to shift, we're going to have to start thinking about the we and the us instead of the me. All right, that's what I'm getting from this card. That's the energy I'm getting. All right. I do so hope you enjoyed my walkthrough of the Tarot de Luz by Aitor Saraiba, a deck published by Fournier. Now, I want to reiterate that as far as I know, this deck is not easily available in the US. It's not on Amazon the last time I checked, but if it is, I will leave a link. I will leave a link to the Etsy store that I purchased this deck from. And I just want to hear all your thoughts. What are you getting looking at the images? You know, just me flipping through, I'm getting a lot, and I'm getting that this is a deck that I really need to sit with. It is not going to be a light and fluffy deck. Even though it looks like it, you know, looks can be deceiving, but the energy, the feeling I'm getting from it is that it's not. It might be a good deck for shadow work, for inner child work. We shall see. So I hope you'll keep looking at my channel because, as you remember, we have this other deck to unbox, another deck by Fournier, and it's another deck that's not easily available here in the US. So I'll be working on filming an unboxing of this deck as well. All right, let me hear all your thoughts. Put them in the description box below. And with that, I will let you get on to your beautiful day. Bye for now.